Welcome, everybody. We're here at the Stateroom with Salt Lake's new band, Bad Air Radio, and we're super excited to have you guys here.
Excited to
So,
be here.
thanks. So, who are we? Why don't we do some introductions?
I'm Brian Dare. I sing and I play rhythm guitar.
I'm Will Chen. I play lead guitar.
I'm Josh Spear. I play drums.
And Josh Carrick on the bass over here.
Right on. Awesome. So, you guys are relatively new band, putting out a new album. How long have you guys been together?
I think like a year now, about because I had my band medicine company and we all went our separate ways to start like kind of like new solo projects. So then I was kind of trying to form a new band and also do a solo project under my name, Brian Dare. And then Josh was kind of in and out of a bunch of bands, and then we just kind of met up. Carrick, this Josh on the left. And then we kind of just met up, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just name it all just like one thing. I got this album, Receding. I want to finish before I turn 30, and let's just call it Bad Air Radio. And then it kind of started. Me and Josh just kind of as the duo working on the album with Ogden's own Josh Arena up in Ogden. And then I met Will, and then there's three Joshes technically working on this show and this album. And then met these guys, and then kind of been coming together slowly. But
Awesome.
surely, well, now it's coming up fast on
Friday night at the Stateroom,
Mhm.
Bad Air Radio. So, this is the album release party. And
Yeah, that's the album release. Yeah,
The album is called Receding.
Receding. Yes.
And tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. So it's an album. I started writing kind of the songs in 2023. Just kind of going through this very dark period in my life. So I was kind of just like writing these songs about just like broken relationships and just kind of feeling isolated and alone and kind of like going off of that, and I was just kind of going through all these like really huge just changes in my life, like as you do as like a 28, 29, that age kind of when you're like life starts to get very serious all of a sudden after the fun of your 20s. So it's kind of like slowly of that. And then over 2023 and 2024, kind of like this changing. But I always had this theme of the ocean and kind of like the waves coming back and forth from, the beach and the tides coming like in and out, and how your life is just kind of like going through these tidal changes, and sometimes it seems so far away and sometimes so close. So that was kind of like the theme that held it together the whole time, was the kind of
This ebb and flow.
this ebb and flow of time and change and like the cycles. So that was kind of my thing. Hence, like receding.
Yeah.
So like I've told like some old people, like, oh, the album's receding. And they're like, you're too young to know what receding means.
We talking about hairlines here?
Yeah, they thought I was like talking about the hairline, which that's coming. But
You got some time left, bro. You're
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
Yeah.
All the bald people.
Yeah.
You heard it here. All the baldies, come on down to the Stateroom.
Yeah. Please, Baldies, come to the stateroom. We want to see you. We all want to see you. Hats or no. But anyway, that was like the theme. So the title track of the album and the first track on the album is called Receding, and the album name is Receding. So that was like the theme.
Cool.
And kind of like being like a sailor, like alone, just floating on the ocean. It's kind of, it's a thing that kind of tied it all together. But the songs all have their own little story.
Very cool. And as far as like the vibe that Bad Air Radio brings, like, I mean, we can go into genres or whatever you want to, but what's the vibe of the music? Like, how would you describe it?
Rock and roll.
Rock and
Just
roll.
like down, dirty rock and roll. I think all of us are like hugely inspired by like Sabbath and the Beatles and Grateful Dead, like various jam bands, but also various like old bands from that time period. So that's always that's what I did with my old band Medicine Company. So this is just kind of a continuation of that, kind of what I was doing. But with this album, it's kind of much more, I wouldn't say like a little like sadder, a little like more like mature, I guess. Because Medicine Company, I think, was more, we want to go for that party vibe and like we're rock and roll and we're, so this is kind of more a little introspective as of this album, but I think that's going to change. Just, we keep writing more and more music.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned a couple of the inspirations, Sabbath,
Mhm.
etc. Who are all of your inspirations? If we're going around here, are we all the same or?
Yeah, I mean, I love the Dead. That's a huge one for me. I think
That's a huge one for me too.
Yeah,
This is
we all-
the Deadheads right here. I think we all are. Will too, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would say that's my biggest influence is the Grateful Dead when it comes to like especially what I want to actually accomplish with the message of the music beyond just playing, like literally what the experience is for people who come to shows, what the overall message of the music is. Like my biggest inspiration will always be the Dead, 100%.
Right on. That's awesome. Okay, well, I mean, we got a lot of Deadheads in this community here. We all love the Dead here, so you're in good company. That's awesome. So I do want to talk a little bit about who you're bringing with you to play this show. So Lapdog's coming.
Lapdog will be there,
Yep.
yes.
And then Chandler's going to be there.
Chandler Seipert will be there, who used to be my co-writer in Medicine Company, and now he's kind of doing his own new project, which is also very Grateful Dead inspired, like very much on the Dead kind of jam side of it. Like, yes. And so he's calling that one Lemonova, and I haven't even seen it yet. He's been secretly working in Utah County in his studio, secretly forming this new thing. So he's going to open up the show with that. And then, of course, we'll have Lapdog coming on. I think most people in the community in Salt Lake have heard by this point. Like Lapdog's been playing shows for like 5 years now.
Yeah, if you haven't heard of Lapdog,
Go
what are you
follow.
doing? Come on.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it should be a star-studded cast. A lot of local musicians.
A lot of all local musicians.
All
pretty
local.
much.
Are all of you from the area here, or
Not I.
not you?
Yeah, I was born and raised in the Northern Virginia, DC area, which we call Nova, Northern Virginia, or the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. And I kind of just decided when I was 21 that I wanted to check out an entirely new place, and I knew nobody. And I just had come to Salt Lake for Kilby Block Party, actually. That was my first time ever coming to Utah or ever even thinking about Utah. It was just like seeing that ad for the lineup for 2023.
Oh, great
And yeah, amazing year. Crumb, Yeah, Yeahs, Pavement, so many great bands that year. But I was like, screw it, I'll go to Utah and just like try to have a fun time. Ended up having more than a fun time, like just a blast. And when I was considering like places to go, a couple years later, it was kind of a no-brainer. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to Utah. I didn't know a soul, and within my first couple weeks, I actually met this guy right here, Josh Carrick, jamming at the Green Pig Blues Jam, run by Gary Tata, who's a local legend.
Gary.
Josh really took me under his wing and like helped introduce me to some of the right people. And then fast forward another year or so, once I kind of got a little more established here, once Brian and Josh were looking for somebody to do the live shows for Bad Air Radio, Josh just put my name in the conversation, and here I am.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, happy to have you here in Salt Lake.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
cool. I always find it really cool how the music community here is so tight knit, and we talk to these bands and they're shouting out all these other bands that we have performing here at the same time. So it's cool to have a showcase like this where we have so many local musicians bringing so much. What about Salt Lake molds your music taste? Like, what do you think the music scene here brings that's different from elsewhere?
I mean, it's hard because I've just been here doing it for 10 years. I never really thought about it. I was like, me and Josh were in Davis County. We just wanted to get to Salt Lake and to start playing in bands and doing shows. But I don't know. It's just like how people are so passionate. And I've been doing it, now I kind of feel like the old man in the scene a little bit, going on 30 this year and going into the next decade of music, and seeing all these like young bucks like Josh come along. But like I just think it's like Receding.
Shout out Baldies.
Shout out Receding.
Y'all hit on status. Y'all hit on status.
Oh yeah, you've got some nice streaks going on, dude. It looks good on you.
But I think it's like, I don't know, it's just been like just a good like mishmash of people, and lately there's been I've been meeting lots of people moving in from other countries and other states and stuff, and everybody I've talked to who's just moved here say like, oh yeah, this is like one of the best places in the country, just lifestyle wise. So I think people just have a lot of passion and joy in their hearts, and I think Salt Lake just attracts passionate people either where, because I think people from around the state want to get out of their hometown and bring their passion to Salt Lake, or they're like stuck in some bigger city and they're like, I want to go somewhere where there's more nature and more realness, and I think that's what brings the passion here.
Right on.
I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the water.
Maybe it's the bad air.
Yeah, maybe it's Better Radio.
I've always said
June 5th.
Salt Lake is a well-kept secret. Like it's really kind of a big city, but with like small city vibes. Like, and I kind of like it that way. But I think what makes the music community stand out so much is just how much people look out for each other in this community, because a lot of people like have, you know, supported us in one way or another, and it's just it seems different than other places for that reason. You know. Yeah.
No, I love that. I found the same thing, and obviously at the stateroom, we're seeing a lot of the local scene come through, and it's always cool how the support spreads, and we love that. So, question we started asking: how did the name come to be? Bad Air Radio.
I can answer that one.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
So it was kind of my idea to take his first initial, which was B for Bryant, and then his last name, which is Adair, and then just make it Bad Air. So it kind of started that way. He just added the radio thing. So
Nice.
I don't know what your reasoning for that
Where
was.
did the radio come from?
Sounded cooler.
Yeah, which I
Just Bad Air.
And it's like
yeah.
and it's like that community thing, just like, oh, it's like radio. Like I said, it was a mix. Like I was coming up with all these like band names, just like, trying to like read in it. And like, if anybody's started a band or played in a band, the name is like one of the the hardest part, I think, at least in the beginning.
It's because they all sound so dumb when you think
They all
about
sound so dumb,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, like Josh was like, because like I had Kirk Doth, local shout out Kirk Doth. He was telling me just call it Adair. He's like, just call it your last name. Like, who cares? Like, just do that. And I'm like, no. So yeah, it's just that's where it really comes from. But it's like the radio thing. Keep it vintage. Keep it rock and roll. Keep it
rock
light.
and roll. I love it. No, when I heard Bad Air, I was like, something about the air quality here or something, but
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense,
That does
Brian
make a
Adair.
lot of sense. I never even thought about that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In hindsight,
Turns out it's just a pun of his name.
yeah, it's just first initial, last name.
Also, shout out Governor Cox. Get on that air quality.
Get on it. All right. So I want to wrap this up by doing a message to all the fans who are going to see you this Friday, June 5th, here at the Stateroom for the album release show. What can they expect?
Well, they expect to see us, and we'll also have Jackie, my dear friend, and Morgan, beautiful singer, singing backup. So you're gonna hear, kind of the band in its fullest it's been yet. And I don't know, expect a just good rock and roll show, kind of classic.
You can expect a much higher energy, jammier version of what we kind of showcased today.
Mhm.
Today we kept it nice and chill and relaxed, but definitely be prepared to shake your ass and boogie down on Friday.
Yeah, and I know both Chandler Seipert, Lemonova, Lapdog. They always bring. It's gonna be a very dancey, very jammy show.
Right on.
Yeah.
So get ready to boogie down, everybody. This Friday, June 5th at the Stateroom.
June 5th.
You got Bad Air Radio.